Okay, I found a map that I think will work. So all I have to do is right click, copy image, go to my Photoshop, and paste and do, I'm going to find my background, and I want to do it over that, so I'll highlight background, and I paste. Alright, well, I don't like the colors, but we'll fix that later. First of all, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Generally, it's not good to enlarge because the pixelation, but it's going to be okay this time. Alright, I'm going to move it up. Okay, and then Command T, give me the bounding box, and I will put it at an angle. The guy explored California, so we'll put some California in there. Okay, when I hit the check mark, it becomes the background. Like obviously that is way too much conflict with the text. So what I'm going to do is I am going to desaturate and change it into a color that matches our scheme. So I'll do my Command U, and I'll go down to colorize. It'll take all the color out and give me a different hue. And so I'm going to move this until I see something that is brownish. Over here. No, no pink, nope. Okay, so that's kind of brownish there. I want it to look antique. Maybe I'll bring the saturation down. Okay, so I'm keeping it kind of brownish. Go along with our color scheme. Okay, that'll probably be good enough. And then I am going to reduce the opacity. It is conflicting with our text. And so just making it just so that it's evident and you can see what it is. That'll be good. Now you can see some of it is hanging down. So I'm going to get my grids back. And with my marching ants on that map layer, I'm going to circle or envelop what I don't want, and then I'm going to hit delete. So that's gone. So now we have a map background. So we can see that it's a map, and yet it doesn't conflict with our text. Now I could probably bring the opacity back up. Now that we generally, if you do make a change on your anything, you probably need to make adjustments all over the place. I can increase the opacity of the Pathfinder now. Yeah, that's fine. I kind of like it the way it is. So there it is, a common background. I think I'll reduce the opacity just a little bit more. Remember, the background should stay in the background. Right. Now, this is kind of nondescript over here. So I'm going to go and find some clouds. So I'll just do clouds. Grab any old clouds. Let's see. Let's take a quick look. Okay, these might be good. Let's look at these clouds. I'm going to use these clouds, so I just right click, copy image, go over here. I want them under the map, so I'll go back to the background layer, do a Command V, and I'll move the clouds up here. And of course, the blue doesn't go very well with everything. So I'll do the same thing, Command U, brings up the hue and saturation. I'm going to colorize. Good. Now, because I have some of this going on with my map, is conflicting with the map, all I have to do is go to the map layer, hold command and click the little icon of the map, go down to my cloud layer and hit delete. And what that did is it took a piece. Let me turn off the map so you can see what happened. It cut out a piece that conforms to the shape of the map. Okay. And now with my clouds the way I want them, with the map, I am going to again reduce the opacity so that the clouds stay in the background. That's why they call it background. Okay. And with my marching ants and my grid up, I can select everything that I don't want, hit delete, and it's gone. Okay, so there it is, all ready for the History Channel logo. Okay, now what else I can do here is I can make it look a little bit, no, we're not going to do that. So there it is. So far it is there's a lot of unity here because of the common background. Now let's go to the background and let's create a new layer. Selecting that layer, I'm going to fill it with one of the colors on his face with the color picker. Remember how we did that? I'm going to do a command delete. Oh, it looks like I might have to select it first. So I'm going to select it, do a command delete, and there it is. I can go up to the U, maybe tone it down a little bit, lighten it up a little bit. That's all right. Maybe make it a little bit more yellow. Good. There. So now we're getting some real color unity going on. But I want it to look a little bit more antique, more gritty. So I'm going to go up to filter and noise and add noise. And you'll see that it is going to add noise. Now see how colorful these are? You can make it so that it is monochromatic. And it'll take that out. And then I'm going to make it so that it's gritty, but it's not sandpaper. Okay, maybe I'll just go and put a 4 in here. See how that looks. Okay, there. Now that looks kind of antique-like there. Let me just zoom in so you can see that. See, so it created a little texture going on. Okay, then I'm going to open my grid again. I'm going to create a new layer above that. There's a new layer. Get my marching ants. And since our left part is going to be 240 pixels, I'll make it according to the grid. Grab that color again. Command delete. Get rid of the marching ants. And reduce the opacity on that. There. So, because I reduced the opacity, I can see some of the grit behind it. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to turn on my grid. I'm going to take my marching ants. $240. Yeah, I'm going to pick a different color. Do my command delete. No, I don't like that color so much. Well, I'm going to pick another color. Okay. Command delete. Good. And then I'm going to reduce the opacity here as well. Remember, background should always stay in the background. There. Okay, we see some of the grit behind it. Good. So there we have the texture going on, and we have this whole thing. Now, if I wanted to, I could go to the top layer, add another layer, do a Command Option Shift E, puts it all on the top layer, and maybe add some noise generally. So it gives it that old antique look. And that's how you can use the grid and some noise to finish up your page. The top is still unbalanced, and so I'm going to put the history logo on there just so that we can live with that. I found a history logo. I'm going to paste it, and there it is. With my Art Marching Ants, I'm going to go around the history channel. Then I'm going to go to select inverse, or and then hit delete, and it gets rid of everything that I didn't put my marching ants around. Then I'm going to turn on my grid because everything has to be according to the grid. There's still a little bit of white there, so I'll just do the marching ants. Get near the edge, hit delete, good, there you go. And we can probably put that a little bit more transparent so it kind of it's there, but maybe that might not be good. Let's see how the whole design process works. Command T, I'll just make it a little bit smaller because I'm going to make it smaller because it isn't the main thing on there, but it should be there somewhere. Okay, let's put it by the grid. Get the margin in, see how that looks. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Alright, we'll do some other things in the next video.